government is only as good and as strong as our citizens have confidence in it and have input not only through you as their direct elected representatives, but through different forums in which they can give input directly on what we do. So a couple of things here for your consideration today. First is the idea of, I don't know, the old movie of Back to the Future. I think it's Forward into the Past or something like that in this case, where what we're doing is lifting a page off of work that Lorna did with prior commissioners of sort of on-the-road meetings with the commissioners. Basically, the idea is to take the commissioner, the board of commissioners, out to the different communities. It sometimes is difficult for people to travel in, and also by doing meetings in the communities in the evening time, that allows people who have daytime jobs the opportunity to come and voice their opinions without having to take off from work, and is, I think, a significant thing. So one of the ideas that we'd like to propose to you today is setting up a series of community meetings out in starting out probably going to an evening meeting in the Chimacum area, down in Port Ludlow, here in Port Townsend at the Community Center, and then down in Quilcene. And doing that over the course of from January through March. As sort of an initial round of some of these community meetings. Judge how they go, whether there's folks are showing up and whether there's an appetite. You may wish to do a second round later in the spring. But I think the value of this is these would not be normal business meetings. These really would be workshops that are geared towards hearing from the public, really expanding on the Monday morning public comment time, and really going out to the citizens and saying, what are your issues, what are your concerns, we'd like to hear from you. And doing it in a way, one of the constraints that I think many people, including myself, are sometimes frustrated by on these Monday morning sessions is that it's sort of set up as a come and speak, and there's not an opportunity for real dialogue on these things. And that's frustrating for all of us, I think. So the idea of these workshops would be to do it in a more informal kind of way so that there is an opportunity to dialogue on issues and have some give and take on them. These would not be decision-making meetings. It would really just be an opportunity to hear about issues of concern or questions of concern from your constituents and talk about it. And whether those then at some future date become a policy direction or change that you wish to instruct the government on during one of these Monday morning sessions, you can do that. That would be for reflection and action later. These meetings are listening and talking and dialoguing. So I have a draft schedule that Lorna put together for the commissioners. Not absolutely certain whether these are dates that can work for you, whether this is an idea. I've had a little bit of discussion with you, and actually we had at one point tried to get some meetings going this past fall, which for various reasons didn't happen. But so hopefully this is an idea that you find of value and would be supportive of, and looking for feedback on whether the dates would work for you. Now that I've given those 3 sheets away, I don't have the dates to be able to read them out. Perhaps you could read the date
Monday, January 11th, the Jefferson County Library. Monday, January 25th, Fort Ludlow Fire Hall Meeting Room. Thursday, February 11th at Fort Townsend Community Center. And Monday, March 1st at the Quilcene Community Center.
What was the date on that?
Monday, March 1st.
And the first one,
January 11th.
January 11th.
Was there any consideration given to the West End?
Our thought was, yes, there's consideration. Really, when you counted up the number of communities, distinct communities we have, what did you come up with? Probably around 11 or more?
Yeah, I don't recall, I've got it on a list somewhere.
Yeah.
But there's many more communities that could be served. We were just trying to figure out some way to get around
So,
for our first round.
yeah, so our thought was not to try to get everywhere at once, but do this over a period of time. So if there was a second round of these community meetings, perhaps a little bit later in the year when the days are longer, it would be a little bit easier to get out to the West End.
We had one meeting out there once, and it was pretty good turnout.
Yeah, consistently, from what I understand in my own experience and one visit that I did give, they're very appreciative of seeing their county representatives.
Even at the West End, there's the northwest end, and then there's the southwest end. And then we have a fairly large number of temporary constituents in Work County, in the middle of the West End. It is complicated, because, we've got, I think you said we have 11 communities we looked at?
At least, yeah.
Yeah, because you've got Gardner, and then Coyle, and then Brennan, and Cape George, Cal Point, all of these
Yeah,
clusters.
Firestone.
There's a lot of places we could add to the list.
Talk to folks who visit Northern Store, that's definitely a distinct community there.
Some of the communities, however, don't have meeting areas, so we kind of have to.
Protection Island has an
Yes.
inhabitant.
It's a precinct 101.
Marty can come to Cape George with you.
Do those dates work for you,
Yeah, I believe they do.
Bill?
I'll find out.
And then the idea would be, I believe they would convene at 7 o'clock, go for roughly 2 hours, run a little bit longer. The appetite for the citizens there is to run longer.
Well, my Monday meetings, typical days are usually free in meetings. I assume they're all
Good.
available.
So that was improvement number one, or enhancement number one. Number two is